Vietnam property tycoon in the country's largest financial fraud involving 12.5 billion US dollars. If proven, this case could be one of the largest financial fraud in Asia, which can be triple of the corruption scandal in Malaysia involving Malaysia's 1 MDB, around 4.5 billion US dollars. Does it affect Vietnam's real estate market or foreigners' investments in Vietnam? Let's find out. For you who don't know exactly what's happening with this case, this is a summary. Truong My Lan has swindled the cash from Saigon Commercial Bank (SCB) for over a decade. 85 others are also in a trial in Ho Chi Minh City, including former central bank, former government officials, and ex-SCB executives among 2 other Chinese nationals. Around 42,000 victims led hundreds of staged protests in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, a rarity in one-party communist state that tolerates no dissent. The values that lands alleged asset appropriation from 2012 to 2022 was equivalent to 3% of Vietnam GDP in 2022. There was 5.2 million US dollars given by land and some Saigon Commercial Bank bankers to the state officials to conceal SCB's violations and poor financial situations could be seen like the Vietnam's biggest bribery in record. This led to the drive of anti-corruption non-stop. Not only Truong My Lan, but also other business tycoons are being put into the light. The head of giant soft drink Tân Hiệp Phát Group, Truong My Lan, is also accused of massive fraud. He is to be prosecuted along with his 2 daughters for allegedly appropriating 31.5 million US dollars. And another business tycoon, Tân Hoàn Minh Group, Mr. Đỗ Anh Dũng, will also face a trial for illegally acquiring 355 million US dollars in a bond sale to more than 6,500 investors. So you can see that the trial is continued, and this time the government is trying to focus into the business tycoons, which raise a lot of concerns and questions in the business, in the market, especially the market that relating directly to these business tycoons, such as real estate, finance, like banks and bonds. But should we be worried about this? Before we go into the analysis of this, let's find out more details about who exactly Truong My Lan is and how can she conceal the big fraud like this in over a decade.
Truong My Lan is a businesswoman, a female billionaire, Vietnamese of Chinese descent. She is the founder and currently the chairwoman of the board of directors of Vạn Thịnh Phát Corporation. Billionaire Truong My Lan, age 66, was born into what is considered the wealthiest family in Vietnam. In Ho Chi Minh City, she is known as the tycoon of real estate projects located in the most prime locations, such as Times Square, VTB office building on Nguyễn Huệ Street, Duxton Hotel, Union Square. Her husband, Chu Lập Cơ, Chu Nap Ki Eric from Hong Kong, is identified as the founder and owns 99.26% of the shares of Times Square Vietnam Corporation.
Okay, since then we know all of the situation relating to this Vietnam's biggest financial fraud. And as that being said, this fraud relating to a lot of business tycoons. And of course, in order to do this, it has to relate to other government officials and involve a lot into politics. Even though Vietnam is one-party communist state, having such fraud affects a lot into how the government and the country can be developed. Corruption and bribery happen everywhere in every country, but it is not being controlled well or in a limit that is acceptable, then it can create the biggest latch for the development of any country. And there can be more and more victims who will never consider solutions. So I have to say this anti-corruption drive in Vietnam is taken at the right time. And we can clearly see right now what the damages are. More than 42,000 victims, a lot of money lost from the government, which turned into the bribery to the other government officials or former central banks. But in the end, this have to be done in order to cleanse the market. So to answer the questions from the beginning, does it affect Vietnam's property market and foreign investors? The answer will be two. First, will be likely yes if you are in the group of the victims, 42,000 victims. And in order to be the victims that you may involved with buying the bond or involved with investing in any bond or doing any business with the Saigon commercial banks, because this bank is being manipulated by Truong My Lan. The second answer is absolutely no. Well, this situation happened for a reason, and the reason is to cleanse and have the market become better. If it doesn't happen now, it will happen sometimes later in the future, and there will be more victims. So we should be glad that it happened already. So it's still too early to say because the trial is just started. But we can have a hope that Vietnam is on the right track of developing and creating a better environment for business to grow and nurture. And this time is also a very interesting time for you to observe how a one-party communist state can handle the situation like this. Well, you see how the prosecutors, how the lawyers, how the laws, and how the whole trial taken place. What we can do next is to observe. And if you are doing any businesses in Vietnam, keep your heads up. We are all on a good progress of becoming something better. That's all for this week, and I hope that you like my analysis on the biggest news in Vietnam today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe does matter. It helps my team and I to continue doing our best for the next video in the next week. See you next week. Thank you.